Star Wars font on my game.
I did put the Star Wars font on your game because when you gave us the layout, I could only think of Endor. So that's what happened, and that's the vibe I went with. Hi, everybody. Welcome to
I love it so much.
our mini campaign. It's Bhenkar Brouhaha. If you've not heard of Bhenkar, then you're living under a rock, and you should not do that anymore because you don't get any sun and you don't have any vitamin D.
Sun is good for me.
Except when your medication makes it burn your face.
Exactly.
There is that.
Anyway, so much fun. I love it. Yeah, stuff and things and what have you, and there's other stuff, and yeah.
To resend you the announcements.
No, I have them. I just haven't pulled it up yet because I'm so prepared.
Okay.
It's been a week.
It's fine.
Everything's fine. It's all fine here.
It's all good.
Okay.
Multiple people that I know have gotten new jobs.
Yes.
In the past, month.
Which is awesome. Including that one right there.
And my sister as of today.
Nice.
Nice.
Our sponsor for today is Canadian Dice. You can go to canadiandice.ca, use the code TheVactaire for 15% off of your order. Maggie, what's your dice pick of the week?
Strawberries.
Why?
Strawberries.
Just strawberries? That's the only reason?
You guys don't like strawberries?
I like strawberries.
They're aesthetic. Everybody loves strawberries. Except for my mom. She's allergic. But that's only because she ate too many strawberries at a Zales event where they had unlimited free strawberries and strawberry lemonade, strawberry desserts, and she developed an allergy.
Oh
dear.
She ate too much of one thing at one time.
At Zales? Like the jewelry store?
My dad got her a bracelet one year for their I think it was their 25th anniversary. So then they got invited to do something at the mall. The same mall where one time my mom went down the escalator, but I didn't go down the escalator with her, so she tried to run up the down escalator. You get me? Because I was too afraid. And then the person at the perfume counter was like, hey, I'll watch them, you could just go down and then go back up. But yeah, strawberries are cool.
Okay. If you haven't noticed as well, we're raising money for Tabletop Gamers. It is Pride Month. We're here for it. So if you've got a couple bucks that could donate to them, that would be great. They are a non-profit organization promoting diversity, equity, inclusion, and all that good stuff by championing visibility and recognition of the 2S LGBTQIA plus community. I got through that without stumbling. I'm so proud of myself. So if you've got a couple bucks, it'd be great if you could donate. And if you are the type of person that just needs to be coerced, we are giving away a prize pack. So if you donate, you will automatically be entered to possibly win that prize pack. Stuff and things. Scheduling wise, we got Backpacker's Guide tomorrow at 7. Artemis and Emily are covering 9th level spells. Sunday, Artemis is over on DM Jeremy's channel for Castles and Crusades. Mistwalkers at 8:30 on Monday is back here. Tuesday, back over at DM Jeremy's, Emily and Artemis are over on DM Jeremy's channel for Blood in the Brew, which is the game that Artemis is GMing. It is a Vampire the Masquerade game, so if you're into that, go watch. And podcasts and merch and all that other shit.
And podcasts are finally caught up, except for the Fixies finale, because that's what I did today.
Nice.
Woo!
Good job.
All on a roll, baby.
We're on something.
We're on something.
At least it's Friday.
I guess.
Anyway, Emily, go ahead.
Okay.
You got this. You're awesome. I believe in you. Don't suck.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Keep a little dirt. Okay, sorry. No, that's not the start of the game.
Isn't it?
It is in my head, but that's not really the point. Okay. High in the sky, far away from the dirt man. Soaring over the Twidwood, we see an older half-elven woman in a green and brown uniform astride a creature of myth and legend, a magnificent griffin. They coast through the air, skimming the tops of trees, before climbing back up into the sky and turning to the north. The pair closes in on a large grove of particularly tall and majestic trees, aiming for a series of 8 tall turrets like a circle of crow's nests over a lush sea of green leaves. Near the ring of turrets, they come to land on an extended wooden platform on the southern end, set down into the trees at the edge of what we now see is a rather large city. At the top are the barracks and training grounds for the Grove Wardens on one platform, along with one smaller, plain-looking building kind of squeezed in between 2 tree trunks on another platform, and then a third platform with a circular building built around the trunk of the tallest tree. I'll put you up there for now. We follow the flow of traffic from the barracks during a shift change down one of many ramps built down from the crown platforms to the second platform, which is only 70 feet up instead of the 100 feet up that the highest platforms are. It's busy with bustling traffic, shops, taverns, the bustle of daily residential life. There's music and laughter soaring over the sweet, smoky smells of food cooked over fires. And there is a little tailor shop. There's a little bit of the smell of sweet honey cakes. All of that is on the second level as people go about their daily lives. Further down on the first platform, only 50 feet up into the trees, life is a busy hodgepodge of homes and shops squeezed in wherever they will fit, both above and below the platform, and providing a number of unique challenges in getting where you need to go. None of these platforms or ramps have railings after all, and in addition to the ramps that go between these various levels, we see lifts, pulleys, ladders, and lines that transport goods and people to and fro. A few very carefully enclosed ramps and stairs spiral down some of the trees through a trapdoor to the ground level. And there's also one rather large mechanical lift that handles the transportation of people and larger shipments of goods that require a way up from the ground. There on the ground are cleared dirt paths between leaf litter and other natural forest brush leading to various outbuildings, carriage houses, and livestock pens and shelters. The whole massive place is ringed in it with a circle of dozens of tall, thick pine trees forming a natural fence of sorts. Ropes and vines strung with sharp bits of thorn, bone, and pottery are woven into a tall, solid fence between the trunks of these pine trees, and every few trees there are small platforms tucked into the branches where vigilant grove wardens keep watch over the boundaries of the city and the gates through which visitors and residents alike travel. On this particular occasion, it is a bright, warm summer day, just a few days before the summer festival is set to take place. Folks here are running around making their various preparations, and these characters represented here are no exception. Would everyone like to take a moment to describe your characters for our friends?
I want you to do something first, Emily, which is make a griffin noise. Because you said there were griffins.
Gosh. Did that make a sound
No.
through the microphone? Dang
No.
it!
You maxed it out.
What if I go back like this?
No.
No, it didn't do it.
No.
Imagine, if you will, a majestic beast making the sound somewhere between an eagle's scream and a lion's roar. It
An
probably sounds
actual
way better
eagle
than
scream and an actual lion's roar, or like the Hollywood versions of them?
The Hollywood version.
Did
Because
mine
this is
go
the
through?
fantasy world and everything is
So a hawk and a like a jaguar.
Yes, correct.
Got it.
Did mine go through?
No.
No.
Oh,
Bummer.
okay.
Sorry.
Never mind.
Who would like to go first to describe your characters? Oh,
Nose goes.
are you ready, Liz?
Fine, but everyone except M has just frozen on my screen, so
Oh,
I
no.
doing that. Good evening, everyone. My name is Wayrocket Knuckle. I am a gnome of the forest, so this is a perfect place for me to be living. I am perhaps what you might call a procurer of things. I will get things for other people, providing they pay me enough. I will get anything you like. There is no job too small, no job too large. For example, just the other day, I persuaded some poor sap to give me 4 gold to find him 6 live cockroaches. I don't know what he was going to do with them, but I got them. He got me my money, and all was good. I procure. That is what I do, and that is what I am doing most of the time. At the moment, there are people getting ready for this event, and business is very good. Business is very good indeed just at the moment, because they need things, and I can acquire these things for them, procure these things for them. So that is who I am, and that is what I do.
I love it. Who's next?
I'll go. I'm
Don't
playing.
sound so excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited to play this cool D&D campaign that my friend came up with, and I have to be creative. I'm playing Hilda Alberghini, but they go by Hilda, and they are my first barbarian character that I've ever played. Despite playing D&D for like 9 years, I haven't gotten around to it. But they are an ancestral guardians barbarian. Their background is inheritor, so they have this really cool box that Emily came up with, and their race is Shatterkai. So they're kind of walking around. They're always busy because they're coming like to age to be head of their clan. So because of that, they're kind of rushing around, and they have their brow furrowed. They have a classic resting bitch face. They're also like really, really tall. She is 6'4". So like people know to stand up for weight, because even though she's kind of like looking at her inheritor item, which I can read that out loud if I find it.
Sure.
It's okay. It's a solid stone box that's like gray basalt with flecks of shiny black purple in it. So like she's kind of like messing with it as she's walking, just muttering to her breath under like just like swear words in Elvish. And sometimes there are like other swear words in Primordial which just sound like rocks. Dude, the worst swear words are in Primordial.
Great.
And she's hot, Artemis Jewelry. She's hot. You guys will see that soon. Or if you want to see it earlier, we do have a community art section on our Discord.
True.
Not in there yet, though.
But you could incentivize them to join us. Then they're trapped with us and they can't leave.
Come see the hot art.
Come see the hot art. And people's pets.
And pets.
Yes.
Pets are the best ones.
All right, I promised Aphi she could go last, so Artemis, you're up.
I'm playing Firali. She is a brass dragonborn. She's an adult, or almost, and she is a monk, and she has a little like as she's walking, she has a little red-winged blackbird that sits on one of her horns. At least it looks like a red-winged blackbird right now. Just kind of chills there. and she is, getting over that stage of being all elbows and knees. Like, she's finally got some muscle tone to her. She's growing up, and she's learning. She has a habit of starting things on fire, so there's that. But it's fine. What could go wrong?
Definitely
in a
not.
forest?
Definitely not a problem in a city that's built into a giant stand of trees.
Yeah, she totally didn't sneeze one time and light a box on fire. It's fine. That totally didn't happen.
All right. And
I'm playing Betsy, who is a mark of the finding human druid. And she's just a little guy who likes animals and is a little on the curious side to the point of danger. So it would not be out of the realm of possibility for her to be, I don't know, following a bug that looks interesting and ending up somewhere she shouldn't be.
So she's just human form.
More or less. I'm healing, sort of. It's gonna be interesting.
Woo!
Didn't play a cleric. Let's see how it goes.
Hashtag druids are healers too.
Yeah, but
Kind of.
Our healers, except for the one time that Maggie got a little swifty and didn't know where they were during the hag game, and we're like, "You gotta heal. You gotta heal."
yeah.
Word. All right.
Guys, there's a druid in my room. Oh, you can't see her face, your butt.
Just barely see her butt.
Totem druid. Forgot to say that.
Oh yeah. I like those. Ooh, that'll be interesting.
Juicy cockroach, sexy pigeon.
Yeah.
That like Circle of the Shepherd or whatever that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Things have been pretty typically mundane in the city of Trivian lately. About a week ago, some merchants came in from the capital city Stead, as they do on occasion, bringing a replenishment of goods, trinkets, and the occasional fancy bauble that typically only goes to the wealthier folk here in the city anyways. The merchants, maybe some of the, priests up on the 3rd level. There's also talk that in the last couple of days, travelers from the Nether Ascendancy arrived seeking help in finding the cause of the deteriorating condition of the trees nearby. This you would note as strange because people from the Nether Ascendancy generally do not travel outside their home, and they keep almost exclusively to themselves to the point where it's very hard to trade with them, and the few places that are able to get their hands on, say, some of the mead that they're famous for, it's really expensive. So a couple people came from the Nether. One of them, an alarming looking fire genasi man named Kenyon Lavar, clad in heavy armor and a smoldering cape, seemed to be making the rounds to all the taverns, gathering information about the surrounding forest and the events of the upcoming summer festival. Kenyon and the elf with him, who some have said introduced herself in the temples as Miel, left almost as quickly as they arrived with 2 senior grove wardens and Maria, the archdruid of the grove, in tow. In spite of that brief bit of excitement, this is a pretty typical day in Trivian. You're all following your normal routines. It's now about an hour or 2 after lunchtime, and it's 4 days before the summer festival. Where do you think your character is, and what are you up to?
Do you think that, my group of people, do you think that maybe we have, some sort of ritual or, part in the festivities that we have to prepare for? Or are we more here visiting nomadically, or?
Possibly. You could be visiting. I think if you're okay with me throwing out a bit of
Throw him. Throw me. Throw me.
I would think that your particular brand of elves would be from a continent to the south that kind of got half destroyed a few hundred years ago. And some like errant god magic happened and probably changed the nature of a lot of people from those continents. Specifically, like if we're thinking about if you watched previous Bhenkar Brouhahas, this is where Alaxon went to find out why the heck he was hearing voices calling him to the middle of the ocean. And there's a whole bunch of undead people stuck there, and they can't die. They just keep coming back. So, he was dealing with that, and that might be where your folks are from. Kind of been ricocheted around a little bit magically with some errant death magic.
But did I stand at the edge of the water for long as I could remember, and then I got ricocheted?
Possibly.
Maybe I'm coming here because I'm looking for refuge for my people.
Sure.
And
yeah.
it's a
Exploring
good
the
time to network and
possibilities.
be like, hey, like we're really strong, we're really cool. Please give us a place to stay and we can help out.
And we live here in the woods with you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's good to note that my future tribe leader, their dump stat is charisma, with a -1.
Whoa. Dang.
So not a
So-
cult.
Yeah. What do you think you're up to in the city?
I'm just trying to I'm trying to find somebody who I can talk to who could help me. So like there's probably like all these party planners.
Oh,
I'm like, hey,
ginger.
like who do I talk to if I need like help with something? They're like, oh well, the social chair or whatever, or like
Yeah.
I'm crying. I think it's zooming time. Sorry,
She
my God. I'm sure he's here.
she wants to play.
She does want to play. She wants my food. So I'm just kind of like asking questions around like, hey, I have an important issue to talk about. But like at
Gotcha.
the same time I don't want to reveal too much about what's going on.
Yeah.
So like,
Just kind of walking around, like, yeah, it's busy, especially as you like get up to the second and third levels. And so people are kind of bustling around. The people on the first level are not as busy, but they might be like getting wares together to sell or something. There's usually some kind of like test of strength of some sort. And there's also like fair games. The temples usually put on a lot of like games and other events. They like offer the food. So yeah.
I just lost the game. But eventually, like, how about like my character, Hilda? How about she gets frustrated and she goes like, well, can anybody help me? Maybe that will, be a reason to bring the party together for a bit. Also, I need to attend to Ginger because somebody's upset.
Yes. So we've got her like walking around looking for help. Is anyone nearby?
I feel like Frila would be for sure. She'd be coming back in from the woods,
Okay,
like
yeah.
having just gone out, probably on a run.
Nice. You come in, you see this elf, kind of an unusual looking elf, just kind of standing there with people rushing around them going, can anybody help me?
And like we know each other kind of, right? Like we've seen each other. We sort
Yeah.
of decided.
Seeing each other around a little bit, like maybe you've been
Hey,
there
I'm
for
walking here.
maybe you've been there for like a day or two and you're finally like you still haven't been able to get any information from anybody, so you're frustrated.
Yeah, so Frila would like walk over also 6 feet tall, but very like gangly, and kind of walks over and they're just like, what's going on?
I need help, and nobody's willing to help. They're like tossing around ribbons, and that person, they don't even know where they are, I think. Somebody's just
That
like,
happens
It's
here
me.
sometimes.
I'm over there and I'm just like watching everything super wide-eyed. Like,
I just look down at you and wave.
I'm not that short.
How tall is your person?
5'2".
Yeah, I'm 6 feet tall.
I mean, that's only 10 inches.
Yeah.
Right.
shorter than that in real life.
I mean, that happens around here. What do you need help with? Maybe I can point you in the right direction.
I need to find like some sort of leader who can help me out because this is just getting ridiculous. I thought that if I came here I would be able to find somebody, tell my people, but everybody just keeps pointing me around. I've been riding that elevator. I've taken that elevator at least 7 times today.
Oh, that must have been expensive.
At this point, I'm just gonna jump up and down and hope that I get there.
Would I know somebody that I could like take them to, like an
Yeah,
administrator? Like if I take them to Eldith will probably just punch me. So
Yeah, I don't know that Eldith would be super useful. But there's a couple people that could be helpful. You would know, so the archdruid that's in charge of the Temple of the Grove, or it's called the Grove House. Her name is Maria, but she left like yesterday, so she won't be able to help. There is Akina Cetraban, who is the priest that is the head of the Warris Temple. And
they spend too much time looking at the sky. I don't know that they'll help.
Yeah, probably a little bit.
I'm saying all of this out loud, like I'm making a list and going, well, she's out of town. They
Yeah.
won't help.
But there is the woman that was riding the griffin in my introduction is the head of the captain of the Grove Wardens. Her name is Kitani, and she'd probably be up on the 3rd level. Could be helpful somehow.
I mean, we could go see Kitani, but she scares me.
You cut out.
I did?
What did you say, Artemis? I couldn't hear you. You cut out.
Sorry. I said we could go see Kitani, but she scares me.
I think I'm gonna be even more scary in the next 5 minutes.
Why?
Okay.
Because I'm upset.
Oh.
My box went. Like, I was gonna smash it, but then I see what it is, puts in my pocket.
Is Betsy from around here? Like from this village?
Sure.
Okay. Because I feel like then Ferrelli would probably know her. That's all. So
Yeah.
if you're out.
You probably know
in
the
nature.
Space Cadet Druid.
I feel like me and my trainer have had to come find you a couple of times.
Most likely, you've probably found me doing nonsense. Totally fine, but I've been gone for too long.
That tracks.
Seems like everybody around here does nonsense. Let's go. Which elevator? Which elevator? Let's get going.
Betsy, why don't you come with us? We'll go upstairs and see Kitani.
Okay. I wanted to watch the... Okay.
Just like I take Icarus off of my horn and hold him down. Do you want to hold Icarus?
Does Icarus like me?
He likes everybody.
Okay, then yes.
You hold him, and like as you're holding him, he looks like a red-winged blackbird, but he has like little wisps of flame that come off of him.
Your bird is on fire.
I know, he does
I
that
didn't
sometimes.
do it.
It's okay, he does that sometimes. Oh, we lost Liz.
She's gonna try to restart.
I give it a sniff and make sure it doesn't smell like roasted chicken or something.
It smells a little bit like fire, but other than that, no.
Okay. I think they're okay.
The last time that you saw him, he would have looked like a sparrow, so you're confused.
Pretty standard operating procedure, honestly.
Yeah.
Why do I hear myself?
Because you're coming through on Liz's setup.
Oh! I didn't realize Liz had returned.
That's because they're a rogue, so they're really sneaky.
Very sneaky.
Exactly.
So sneaky.
Anyways, we take the elevator up.
Does the elevator play music? Like, is it enchanted to play music?
No, it's just like a flat platform with like ropes on four corners that all kind of join together, so it's like real wobbly. The more weight is on it, the better, because then it keeps it relatively steady, and there's no railings whatsoever.
I don't think this place is OSHA certified.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither. It just sounded like the right thing to say.
Ain't no OSHA
Okay.
here. Never heard of it. Okay, so
I'm
you
like
go up.
tapping my foot repeatedly as we're going up.
You go up to the third level. You would come out about. If you can see kind of where the thing that looks like a crane is, that's where you'd come out.
That thing?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, right over here. So as you kind of like land up against the platform, the third level platform, there's like a ramp to your left, a rope bridge in front of you, and then like the warden barracks are what are kind of around on this platform. There's warden barracks, and then the griffin stables are like further south. And then the Sanctuary of Hours is where that one priest would be. And there's like a little shrine over here, and the Grove House is this big one.
Okay. What do I know about Kitani?
She's like the most senior. She's like an elf. She's got kind of long dark dreads and dark like tan skin with hazel eyes, and she's got like the long ears. She's got a griffin, one of the first griffins, and she's part of the reason the city has griffins at all. She's a very skilled griffin rider, and yeah, she's been the head of the Grove Wardens for maybe 10-15 years, something like that. So
Okay.
she's a serious person. She kind of means business, but she'll take it seriously if it's something that she can do something about.
Okay. I just kind of like lead the group over there. Do we just sort of absorb Liz's character at some point on that walk over there?
I don't know, maybe.
But Wocket is up there because Wocket is very intrigued by the idea of there being people from the Nether being in the city, and she's up trying to find out what there is to find out about them, because that's up where where all the wardens and so on are. So she's just doing the recce, as it were, just to see what she can find out. And she notices you all arrive, and because we are all friends and we know each other, of course, the
I
obvious
feel
thing
like
that
Betsy
I
and
do.
Corelli just wait
Yeah, exactly.
like weirdos.
And I and What are we doing here? This is a new friend, is it?
I forgot.
Anything?
We're gonna go see Kitani.
Oh, right. Katani.
Okay.
Look,
Are you
this bird
sure
is
you
on
guys know what you're
fire.
doing?
Well, we're going to. Oh, okay. This must be very serious then. But may I join? That would be good. Yeah. Okay. Who is the new friend?
This one.
Just standing here with my buff arms crossed, like 6'4", looking very grumpy. Hilda,
I think they need a hug.
Hmm.
I don't need a hug. I need to talk to somebody. If I needed a hug, then I would have, I don't know, hugged somebody.
Well, you're talking to us.
I need to talk to somebody who can help me.
We are helping you.
I am going to jump off of this platform any minute.
I
Oh,
don't
don't-
recommend it. I
No,
have fallen
Hilda-
off of this platform
Hilda, don't do
before. I
that.
don't recommend it.
Can you fly?
This one,
No.
Not fly.
Oh.
this one's not too bad because you're most likely to land on the platform below,
No, I'm
which
gonna
is
purposely miss.
only 30 feet down with a few tree branches in between.
Oh yeah, no, 1000% during training,
Recommend it.
Pirelli definitely fell off of this platform.
Oh no, are there like no safety nets either? There's
No,
oh, no.
definitely not.
You didn't install like some of those like what are they called in video games where like they're like invisible blocks. So you like
Oh,
can't
yeah.
go outside the boundary of those.
What, like
None
in
of those either.
Elden Ring, where you can like walk on empty space?
Yeah, it's those. You're none of those installed? Boundary blocks.
Nope.
So where's this?
Okay. This
Hidden
way.
lady?
She's over here.
Okay.
It looks like she's just landed and is bringing her griffin into the stables.
Hi, Kitani.
I just like
Oh.
wave awkwardly because apparently this is like the greeting here.
She kind
Like
of looks
fingers
around
all
like,
spread out like this waving.
hello? What?
We need your help. Well, they need your help.
Why? What's wrong?
I don't know. What is wrong?
So, I'm Hilda. I'm from what's the southern continent's name again?
Glade Tinnis.
I'm from Glade Tinnis, and if you were not aware, things there are not good.
Sure.
And I am looking for a place where I can bring my people, even if not here, a way to ferry them from Glade Tinnis elsewhere because, there seems to be a particular undead problem in Glade Tinnis. And every second the undead problem stays there, it gets worse because if there's an accident, it adds to the undead problem.
That's a good point. Okay. And you are thinking of moving here?
Here, if possible, if not, just getting my people off the island would be great. And
Sure.
traveling elsewhere, but we are a very resilient people. We are very strong, and I mean, if you want to talk to some people, I then hold on, let me see what the fuck it's called. Is there a way that I can like summon my ancestors in this? Or would I have to use a rage to do that?
You might have to use a rage, but I would let you do that.
Yeah, I'll
Because
do
it's
something.
basically, it's like Ancestral Guardians kind of a thing, right? Like,
Yeah, so like
Spirit.
you see my eyes, which are already like a dark purple, like they sclera to be like completely black, and I slam my two fists together, and then like you know in Mulan when like all the ancestors appear like within like smoke,
like
there'd
that.
be a Shatter Kai from across the ages.
Oh. Oh.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Pirelli dives behind a bunch of crates.
What does the bird do? What does the bird do?
I think the bird
Well,
picks one and
it's
starts
just-
flying over its head.
Oh.
Oh.
He'll come back.
Ancestor people, what's up? So, okay.
Like, I would ask my ancestors to kind of like go through their accomplishments of being like tribal leader, like to say like, look
Yeah.
how cool we are, we're very helpful. And then one guy, you know, like when you get like a good leader and then like a bad leader comes in, a good leader, one of them's just like, I built a fort once, but the other ones are like, you know, like we helped, you know, cultivate things, we vanquished mighty beasts, blah 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 blah.
Okay.
And these are only the dead ones. Like, if you get, like, the ones that are alive, they can do a lot more. These ones kind of tag around me. Like, fist bump one.
Well, space here's a little tight. But there's probably room for another house or two. Maybe if we build it up onto the tree trunks.
May I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Railings?
Railings.
Yeah.
Just learn to walk better. Anyways.
Just hear Frila go, that's what she told me when I fell off the platform the last time.
That's how you learn.
I thought I learned by not dying.
People help if they are able.
And our people, we're very helpful. We're very resilient. You could say that if we, you know, were to use a racial ability that we become, hold on. I can read my tracker. I can gain resistance to all damage until the start of my next turn, if you were to put it into different terms.
Oh.
Okay. That's
Okay,
kind of useful.
Tanya, if I might interject, my friend, how many people are we actually talking about you wanting to bring here?
How many am I talking about?
That would have been my next question. I don't know. It's up to you how big you think your village is.
Counting the ones that are alive right now, that I know that are alive, probably like 15 people.
Oh. We can handle 15, I think.
Yeah, and the more that we wait, that number might be going down, so...
Okay. Sure, send them a message, get them here, I guess.
You got, like, ravens or what you got to send messages?
She kind of looks over at the temple over here that those of you who are from here would know as the Sanctuary of Hours. It's kind of like off to the left. And there's a bunch of people sitting outside on like cushions, waiting for like sunset, basically. They're just watching the sky, like they're all sitting by themselves. And she goes, I guess they're so weird sometimes, but we could go over there. Hold on. Well, no, actually, just come with me. She starts walking very, like, one of those people that, like, when they take a step, it, like, shakes the whole ground, and, is, like, very loud. She, like, walks in a straight line, pretty much directly to wherever, yeah. So she goes over there. There's just a little bridge on this one. And she finds basically like the first cleric she can find to send a message for you, and they are able to do that.
What does the bird do now that the ancestral guardians kind of poof away? Well, can they follow us mechanically? I know that it would have ended after one round, technically.
Oh, yeah. I think the bird would go back and land either on Ferali's horn, or if Ferali asked him to, go over to Betsy.
I would send him back to Betsy. Yeah.
On my pack, as we're walking around, I take out one thing of animal feed, and I say, "Quick catch!" And I just throw it without warning at Betsy. Would I have to make an attack roll for that, or how would that mechanically work?
Oh,
I should not have rolled at advantage. Hang on. No. Yeah, that was a 2. So I'm gonna
Great.
say how big is this bag of feed?
It's one standard bag of feed that was on the player's handbook.
What's the weight of it?
Let me see. Ow, I hit my knee on my desk. Ah. Ow, why do I have this file cabinet under my desk? It has things that are not important. Ow, sorry, that actually really
It
hurt.
weighs 10 pounds.
So this thing hits me square in the chest, and I end up flat on my back, staring up at the sky, wondering what the hell just happened.
Bird floating above your head.
How?
one of the other clerics walks up to you and looks down at you and says, "Ah, you are ready to dedicate yourself to Warris?" Because you're staring at the sky.
Wow.
I just-
Mm.
I'm like, no, she's okay. And I like reach a hand down. Come here, Betsy.
I try to get up, but the bag of feed is still on my chest.
I just pick that up with one hand and then offer you.
Okay, now I get up.
Ah. Perhaps not ready yet, but someday you could. And it like
Bird, though.
he looks
Bird
at you and
doesn't-
he's like, "You could," and then he just walks away.
I
think
could
the bird
what?
would mean that, it chose you or something. I don't know how your gods work.
While all this is going on,
Yeah.
Wocket manages to position herself so that she can sidle up to Kitania, and just sort of says, while I've got you here, less of the
Oh.
tail, please. While I've got you here, could I have heard that we might have had some unusual visitors recently that you might know something about, like
Oh, right.
visitors from Nether.
Yeah, the druid and the soldier guy. Interesting, folks. A little bit weird.
I'm a druid.
Well done.
Thanks.
I know. We know this.
The elf. What was her name? Miel, something with food. She had a sort of hysterical fit in the Quinnis Temple, and something about the trees. She was crying about the trees.
Is
But
that
the bad trees are far away. I don't know. They went to check it out. Anyways.
I cry
What
about
about
trees all the time.
Me?
What?
Why do you cry about trees, Betsy?
Because they're so sad. They're in a group, but they're so far away from each other.
But
Isn't
don't
that
they
like-
hold hands through the roots?
Sometimes.
Isn't it like good that trees are far apart because that means that they get more nutrients?
It's like being alone in a crowd, though.
So a
Never
Tuesday.
really thought of it that way.
Nutrition is important.
Why do you want to know about this? It's not that big of a deal. I mean, I realize they never come here, but
Just curious in my usual fashion. I just like to know what's going on and whether there might be any advantage, shall we say?
Asta,
to
what are you doing in
knowing
England?
what's going on.
advantage? They did say the man was talking an awful lot about setting up trade routes, but I don't think he was originally from the Nether.
Really?
He was not originally from there. He was more familiar with the city. The woman was just about falling off of the platforms with fear every time she saw a group of people bigger than 5.
I understand that.
I
They're
fall off
weird
these
down
platforms
there.
all the time.
Sure you do, dear. She pats you.
So
Master Elda says I
we-
need to stop doing that, but I can't help it sometimes.
Ugh. Elda.
do we
Yeah.
are these people likely to be coming back?
Supposed to be. I mean, I hope so. They've got some of our best wardens and the archdruid of the Grove House. So I hope so.
How long have they been gone?
Just a day.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yes, quite a way to the Nether. So yeah, I'm sure everything is fine.
They did the walk through a tree thing that she can do. Maria can do.
Oh.
She's very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you powerful too? Aren't you one of those plant people with the animals?
Plant people with the animals.
No, I'm a human.
You know what? Never mind. I turn back to the leader. No,
Okay.
I'm with the character, and I'm like, if you want somebody to help check it out, I mean, I got time until my message gets across.
Sure. Well, I'll talk to them and see if... I mean, once they get back, we'll see what they find. I don't know. I just think it's a fungus.
I
A
would
fungus
be
among us.
very.
What?
A fungus
I-
among us.
Ugh. No, thank you. But I would be very grateful. There may be. It may be that I can help with this trade route thing. It is. What I do, as you well know. So maybe we could an introduction, maybe when they come back, might be managed.
Well, they're certainly not hard to spot. He's a big fireman with a smoking cloak. I was afraid
Yes.
he was going to set the place off, but seems to have it under control.
Yes.
Look, if I haven't started it on fire yet, it's probably not gonna.
Well, we do have a lot of people watching.
That's fair.
All right. Was that all you needed me for?
I look at Hilda. Do you need anything else?
There's a priest that's starting to mutter a message to one of the people in your family that says that they can come to a city called Trivian. If you would like, you may come to Trivian. There's room here, probably. We might have to build you some weird houses. That's the end of their sending spell. Probably so confusing.
Does
So
Hilda
a
need
mess-
anything else here? Maggie.
know if I need anything else. I mean, I'm gonna try to relay that message, and we're gonna figure out how to get everybody else over. But given the magic surges going on, I'm sure that we can get everybody here eventually.
I think the priest would get a message back that says they'll take the next. Oh shoot! Hold on. I need a map. Give me a second.
I don't got any maps, but my character appears through your computer screen.
They get a message back that's like, we'll see if we can get a ship up. It might take a bit. The sweeping sea is dangerous, which you would know. You took it here. But you made it.
I was fine. I totally did not just like hang over the ship at one point, like very ill, making con saves, praying to the ancestors.
Definitely not. Definitely.
I was very brave the entire time, and nobody can say otherwise.
I
Of course not.
would say you probably landed at Sinsager, which is kind of a protected cove, so they'll probably take a ship to the same place.
And how long until the adventures that Liz was talking about get back?
They've been gone for about a day. But it might take them another day to get back.
So
They left last night, technically.
Meet them halfway out there, or you guys just want to like? Isn't there some sort of festival going on? I saw like a test your strength thing, and kind of interested.
Yeah, there's
We
people
could go
like
down to the
setting up
festival.
games.
I don't know.
Well, it's not starting for another 3 days. She yells from she's started walking away already.
Like halfway across. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know.
What do we do for tonight then?
Pub?
Usually a few rooms at the Pine Cone. I believe.
Yeah.
Are
if
they
we felt
like how big or small are they? I look at your character list, who I assume is very small.
I am.
Yeah.
Is there a job
Well,
board in
mighty.
town?
It would probably be by the Pine Cone or by the Griffin's Perch, which is like the cop bar, I guess. It's like right down the ramp from
Let's not go there.
Warden
No, I'm not going.
barracks.
No.
Do they
but the
want
pu-
to? Do they want what's your character's name? Love what I'm looking for it again.
Click down here so you can see what
Mine?
I mean.
No, Liz's character's name.
Oh.
Rocket.
Pocket.
Rocket?
No, Rocket.
Walk it.
Are there like posters for Wocket near the Griffin's nest? Being a rogue?
Probably not, because you live here. So, they would know to keep an eye on you to make sure your fingers don't get too sticky. Yeah.
I do, I am in procurement. Nothing I do is unacceptable.
All above board.
All above board. Just about.
Well, you are very small.
I am very small.
Well, it would
Small
make
but
sense
mighty.
if some stuff was underboard.
This is true. Yes. Yes. It would.
So to the pine cone?
I suggest we go to the Pinecone. We don't want to go to that other place.
Okay, so are we gonna
Well-
just take the elevator again, or
I don't recommend falling down there. It kind of hurts.
There is a ramp that kind of swings around and goes down.
I'll race you?
To the second level.
I'm really fast.
How fast?
I'm fast.
You guys all want to race?
No, thank you. No railings. Nothing to stop you falling off the ramp. I will just walk, thank you.
Same.
You just said just don't fall off. How hard can it be? Hey, Betsy,
It's
you want to count us down? 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
I start running.
You were supposed to count us down.
Oh, 5, 4.
We're already gone. We're already gone.
I
Oh,
think it's a bit late now, my friend. So
What is
Icarus just like flutters up to sit on your head so he can watch.
okay.
what are each of your speeds?
I 100% bet Artemis is faster.
My
I-
speed
Level
is 40
3.
feet right now.
Yeah, mine's 30.
Okay. So it's not hard for it's
Dear
not
Holly.
it's not hard for Ferrali to get ahead of you and stay ahead of you. Basically, you see the gap is growing, but you can see the direction that they're running towards. It's like a big building. It's probably the biggest building on the level. As you like come down through the trees, you can see like smoke coming out of a chimney over there, and there's you can smell the food.
Betsy, come with me. I mean, you know the way to the Pinecone, but we can go together. Would that be good?
I definitely know the way to the pine cone.
Yes.
You get lost on the way there.
I absolutely do.
Luckily,
This is
Wocket probably
great.
also knows.
Together.
Yeah.
Let's go together.
Question: do people
Yes.
move out of the way as like we're just like running at full speed down
A
the
6-foot tall dragonborn comes barreling down the ramp.
Absolutely not. They stay 100% in your way. You are required to bob and weave.
We're not required to bob
Oh,
and
no.
weave technically, but I would.
Well,
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
frowned
that's true.
upon generally to plow into.
Yeah.
I rolled an 8 on my dexterity.
You've run into 2 people.
They go
Sorry.
walking.
Jeez, that was my foot!
Sorry.
You are
Right.
fast, huh? Go to fist bump you. Like it like zooms into a close up and like a little like flame pops out, and then text across it that says radical.
Just one of
Just
those, like,
whoa.
text scroller things.
Yeah.
Alright. You head down to the Pinecone, which is a rather rowdy tavern. You can hear music coming from that direction. They usually have some sort of live music in the evenings. And they're getting ready, like dinner is cooking. You've all been kind of out and about for the afternoon, and you head in. It's like the same color wood as all the wood that makes up the woods, shockingly. And it smells like roasted meats and kind of, you know, when people like spill beer on the floor and then it gets kind of like sticky and it smells kind of weird. It's
Yep.
got that kind of bar smell. And there's
So it's Texas Roadhouse.
kind of, and there's a bunch of people in here, but luckily it's a nice big place, and the innkeeper and barman Franklin Redmere is standing behind the bar. Hello.
Hi,
Drinks.
Frank. Yes, please.
What you want?
I want a mead. And Ferrelli 1000% is not old enough to be drinking. And Frank probably knows that.
Mead. Strong stuff for a young one.
adult. Almost.
I put a gold piece down, and I'm like, yeah, get them what they want. They beat me in a race.
Who are you?
Me.
They're my friend. And these are my friends. You know them. It's Betsy and Wocket.
Hello.
You know me.
Hi, yes. All right, I'll give you a mead, but it's gonna be a small one. And you're gonna drink a glass of water right after. And he hands you a mead and a water.
That's
What about the
smart.
rest of you? This is, to be clear, not the good mead from the Nether. This is normal
Oh,
mead.
yeah, no.
You guys
It's
keep
like-
these on the first level. It's a relatively ordinary mead. It's fine.
Betsy and
Usual meat, nothing.
Wocket know that Pirelli she's 17 3/4 and make sure that like they all know it because she's almost an adult.
What's the usual?
Nearly.
What's Wocket's usual?
Oh, a
There's-
mead. A mead.
A mead? Okay. He hands you a mead also.
I'll
Pours you one.
also have my usual.
What's that?
Literally, she does not have one. She changes her mind every time she comes in and never has anything twice until she
He
runs through the whole
probably-
gamut.
He probably rotates through. So let's
Yeah.
say, ooh. Roll a d6.
A 1.
Okay.
No.
You get this kind of a like goblet of this very sweet kind of blackberry wine.
Okay. That works.
Okay. Great. What about you, me?
I'll take your strongest drink. And I lean on the counter and get up there close.
No.
Okay. You see, he takes like a green bottle out from under the counter and pours a clear liquid into the glass. He pours it like it's like 3 shots.
Is it
and
magical Everclear?
It smells a little bit like a combination of rocket fuel and pine trees.
It's gin?
Absolutely. Just straight up gin.
Can I make an insight check to see if this is the strongest drink he has?
Sure.
13?
Probably is.
Okay.
Everybody else just got mead and wine.
To new beginnings! And then I go to, like, immediately try to take the shot.
Let's see, 3 shots. Do I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for that?
I would need to make a Constitution saving
I'm
throw.
gonna say yes.
Like me as a person.
If for no reason but to keep from coughing.
18.
Okay,
Well,
you're
I
pretty
rolled the
good.
wrong thing. It's supposed to be a non-natural 20 because I rolled the stat, not the save.
Oh, okay. Nice. So yeah, you seem fine. It's pretty good gin. You don't have it a lot down where you're from, but
No, what we have is scurvy.
yes. Not a lot of citrus fruit in Gladeton. Especially with half the continent gone.
You know, sometimes you get scurvy and sometimes the scurvy gets you. That's what they say.
But you can just eat oranges and you won't have scurvy.
We don't got those. Like,
Oh.
everybody's dead.
Well, everybody on the east side is dead anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to get those things, you know, when people are dead.
Sorry.
It's okay. Good news is maybe they won't die here. Or have scurvy.
Are they infectious?
Scurvy?
No, your Your people, you,
No. Do I look infectious to you?
a little.
Wow.
You're just very pale.
That's just what I look like. I've been looking like this since the day I was born.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Am I supposed to be insulted?
No?
No.
I
She's
gave you
not trying
bird
to
food.
report you.
I think you broke a rib.
Oh. Are you allergic?
To bird feed?
Yeah, you said you got hurt from it.
You threw it right at my chest.
That's why I said catch it.
I had my hands full.
That's why you catch it.
How can I catch it if my hands are full?
With your body.
I did catch it with my body and I broke a rib.
So that must mean you're allergic to birdseed.
That's not how allergies work.
I'm pretty sure I know how allergies work. I watched the man get that, like, fungus that turned him into, like, a clicker guy. So I think I know how.
Ew.
The zombies down south are just clickers.
That's something different.
I'm pretty sure he was allergic.
Everybody would be allergic to that.
No, I was fine. I got out.
I like scoot away. Just- Probably has some
Who has
spores
some
going
good
on.
tales?
Yeah.
Who has some
Yeah.
good tales about their adventures?
No.
Franklin, can I just checking in? I suppose there's been no sign of Mr. Knackle yet. You know my Mr. Knackle?
No. Sorry.
Who's Mr. Knackle?
Mr. Knackle is my significant other. I lost him.
Oh.
How
Thanks for
long
the
ago?
donations, Eater.
I lost him, I suppose it's about... Oh, Franklin, you can remember, it was about, 3-4 years ago now? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
This goblin turned up out of nowhere and decided that they quite liked my Mr. Knackle. And I had been, celebrating, shall we say, for quite some time, and it felt like a very good idea. She suggested, this goblin, that we play a game of chance. So we did. We played dice for my Mr. Knackle, and I lost. So I lost him.
You gambled your spouse?
It felt like a good idea at the time. It did. And he didn't mind. He was fine with it.
Do you, like,
But-
need us to go find the person and beat them up to get your husband back? Because this is what that sounds like.
Oh, no. No, it's just that, the goblin took him with her when she left the next day, and he'll come back eventually. He will. I just did, I check in with Franklin just to see him, just in case they've seen it.
Are you, like, sure you don't want us to find the goblin and beat them up? Because, like, sounds like a reason to.
Well, I suppose. But,
Oh, let's see.
I do, I it was all fair and square. It was, it was
Well,
my own fault. I used the wrong set of dice. I used the ordinary one instead of the
Loaded?
modified. No. I would never use loaded dice. That would be awful.
Betsy, make an Arcana check.
16.
Sounds like something else is going on besides a game of dice. Maybe the goblin did something to them. They all seemed to think it was a good idea at the time. And now Mr. Knackle's missing. Something magic happened. Not sure what, but...
Were you charmed?
I don't think so, but then I wouldn't know, would I? But anyway, it was, you know.
Well,
I
you
lost.
you normally would once it wears off.
Oh, this is true.
So, like, did you get to a point where it was like, you know, I think there was something hinky going on there?
Actually, yes. Next morning, it did feel like something had gone wrong.
Or did they, like, I don't know, make a strong suggestion that you should not win?
No, I don't remember that.
Or gamble your husband?
Well, yeah, I mean, we did have an interesting conversation about what a good idea that would be. Yes.
How did that go? Do you remember?
Well, we all seem to think it was a good idea. Even Mr. Knackle thought it was a good idea.
Uh-huh. What did the
So-
goblin say? Like, specifically?
Oh, it was something along the lines of what an excellent idea it would be, and how we couldn't possibly lose, and it would all just be for fun, and all that sort of stuff. You know, I didn't think that we would actually lose, but as I say, I used the wrong set of dice. I didn't use my modified dice.
Do you remember why you didn't use them?
I couldn't find them.
What did the
They
goblin
seemed to
wager?
just- Oh, the goblin was going to provide me with certain items that I was in need of at the time. You know, as part of the procurement. This is why we thought it would be quite a good idea, because we thought that we would win, and then I would get these things that we needed, because we used to run our procurement arrangements, you know, together, as you would.
Yeah.
But then, you know, so we were going to get a load of things that we actually needed at that point.
Are we talking like food or something that you could buy?
Some of it was food. Some of it was there was
Or like-
as I recall, there was somebody who wanted a new set of silver cutlery or something like that. That I don't know why they wanted a set of silver cutlery, but they did. And somebody
Wasn't a
else
Kenku, was it?
And this goblin had all of this stuff available?
They said they did, yes. I mean, obviously they didn't have it on their person, because that would have meant that they.
That would have been silly. That is probably the silliest part of this conversation.
Gambled away your spouse over a set of silver.
Among other things.
Among other things.
You gambled away more than just your husband.
No. I mean, it was among other things, not just.
On the goblin side. Oh, okay. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, the goblin probably had like a list.
Yes.
Like a full list
And
of
it was surprising, you know, how many of the things that we were in the process of procuring, they actually had. I was amazed.
Yeah.
What was this goblin's name?
You know, I thought about this quite a lot. And you know, I don't think he ever told us his name. I don't remember it anyway. If he did, I've forgotten it.
Can I make a history or religion check? Just figure out what I think this might, like, the premise of this might be, or, like, who this might be, because it sounds like
Or like, can I roll a history check to see if I know of a goblin that's been seen around town?
Sure.
yeah.
Go for it.
Maybe
3 years ago.
Yeah,
2 or
3
3 years ago.
When I was 14 and totally paying attention to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I want to roll a history check more to see if I've ever heard of something like this.
Something like that. Yeah.
13.
I rolled a nat 1. So it's a 3.
Nope.
First nat 1 of the game, baby.
Fracas.
So, Walkit, I think you were
Bamboozled.
ripped off.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Artemis.
Yeah.
Seems like a wild story.
I mean, unless you were trying to unacquire your husband, it seems like the goblin kind of bamboozled you.
I think with a 13
Possibly.
also, Firelli, you would know, like, there are goblins that come through and trade. There are goblin communities around in the forest.
Do
They're
I
not
remember any of them
normally, like-
acquiring a gnome?
No? But you also don't usually see a, like, single goblin by themselves just around town. Unless it's someone who lives here.
Yeah.
And they're fetching, like, running errands or something like that.
Do you know where they went? Walkit?
I have no idea. They weren't here the following morning. But then that was what I would have expected, you know. But as I say, I lost, or we lost. So
You lost because they screwed you with magic.
well, I suppose that would make a bit more sense.
And don't you find it odd that the goblin happened to have everything you were looking for, and all of a sudden your definitely not loaded dice disappeared right when you needed them?
Well, I object to the phrase loaded dice. I would never use loaded dice. I quite prefer modified, just slightly. That's
Lucky
all.
dice.
Weighted.
Lucky dice, exactly. Possibly, that might have something to do with it. Yes. But I'm, it's.
Focus on the main part of that, what I said, not the loaded dice part, Walkit. The part about you being magically manipulated so that you would lose and wager your husband. And the goblin magically had everything that you wanted, and your modified dice disappeared right when you needed it.
Well, yes, but these things happen, don't they? And there's nothing I can do about it now. But he'll come back one day. He promised me he would come back one day.
You could go
This
find
is why I
him.
check.
Well,
This is why I
we
check.
know people who can send messages. They're upstairs. We could just go ask them to send a message to your husband.
We could, I suppose.
What
I mean,
is
unless
he
you
look-
don't want him back.
I mean,
Well,
if you
I
don't,
have
that's
been
okay.
doing reasonably well. I have been doing reasonably well without it. You know, the procuring work.
Emily's like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Do you want him back or not?
it'd be nice to have him back eventually, but I'm not fussed, really. He'll come back when he comes back.
I mean, we don't have
Okay.
anything to do for the next 3 days, so why don't we just figure it out? Because then, if we can, we can go beat him up, and then we can come back to the festival. I don't like just sitting around and doing nothing. Like, as good as this strongest alcohol is, which I can totally handle, I am a little bit bored already.
But we have preparations to make for your friends, don't we? We need to build them a house and all that
I
sort
think
of
the
stuff.
city
We've got
people
plenty
handle
to keep us
that.
going.
I'm pretty sure if we built them a house, the rest of them would die.
What if Mr. What's his name? Mr. Barnacle could help us?
Mr. Barnacle?
Who?
I mean, Mr.
Mr.
Knackle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. What, help us build a house? No. That's not his skill set.
Oh, okay.
How long do you all stay at the bar? It stays open until about 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
2 a.m.
But I like
Knowing us, probably, and still talking about this when we're getting ready to leave. Like,
Can I rent
do
a
we
room
go
here?
find out,
Yeah, you can rent a
like,
room.
where he is?
Yeah, you
Like,
can rent a
we
room.
could go just ask the people who are always staring at stars to send them a message. They're right upstairs.
Well,
It's kind of their job.
I've never actually thought of doing that. I've actually sort of...
See, that's another thing I'm confused about. Did I understand that you're like, hey, you know, I got my freedom and whatever, like, fly, bitch, fly. But were you happy, or are you happy that he's gone? Like, did this goblin modify your memory to be like, you know, it's fine?
I'm not unhappy that he's gone. You know, that would be a fair assessment of my feelings.
Okay.
But I don't like this idea of me allowing myself to be manipulated like this. The way I never thought of it that way before. And now I'm getting a bit...
Oh, do we need to go find him or
irritated.
not?
It's like 2 a.m. You're all just wandering home.
We're fucking
It's
loaded,
fucking
being like, do we gotta go find him or what? Like, do we need to drive by your ex's house and, like, pee on his lawn? Like, what do you need us to do?
It's like
That's my home!
Your ex's lawn, not your lawn.
Betsy and Frila have had exactly one drink the entire night, and they're just fucking loaded.
It's like when you go clubbing and then you always lose one person that you're clubbing with, and
Yeah.
you spend the rest of the night trying to find them.
Because you're trying to get a room there, right? So you're
Yeah.
Yeah. Bartender, I need your strongest room.
okay.
How much?
2 silver.
Okay, here you go. And I put down the gold.
Oh damn. He gives you his nicest room.
I wanted the strongest one.
It is very strong. The nice room is also very strong.
So
And it has lots of space.
on my way here, I won like a bunch of like tournaments, like eating contests and like arm wrestling. And
Sure.
I don't really understand the value of all the money that I have. So like, it's kind of dishing it out willy-nilly.
Nice, okay.
So I'll take 2 gold off of my sheet because I paid for drinks and then I paid for the room.
Okay. Where do the rest of you think you live in the city? Do you live on the second level, on the first level, or on the ground level?
Probably wherever the druids area is.
Okay.
The-
Most of the druids probably live relatively close to, like, under where the, Quintus Temple is. So, like, here-ish. And there's, like, a little tree there, so there's some houses in there.
Yeah, probably around there.
Okay.
Mm,
What about Wocket and Ferrali?
Rocket lives on the first platform.
Okay.
She has a little house.
What part of the first platform?
Do you have to ask all these hard questions?
I know, I'm sorry. Can
Somewhere in the
add some
middle.
labels here. In the middle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. Mm. Oh, no, up near the basket weaver.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I like the look of the
There.
basket weaver.
Up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Ferrali, first, second, ground level.
Wherever Eldeth lives, I just string up a hammock between her house and whoever's next door.
She's probably lives on the second level towards the, like, southern part. Oh, hang on, I moved you there and didn't move myself. Maybe, like, over here by Griffin's Perch. Because she uses the training ground so much.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Yeah, because Forelli's an urchin, so like she doesn't really have a home of her own. She just like wherever Eldith lives, she just like
Just
sets up
hanging
a
out.
hammock there.
Okay.
So yeah.
Nice. Okay. So let's see. Let me just make a note of where all of you are.
Nothing bad is going to happen to these places.
For
that
my
everyone
own
loves now.
purposes.
There's not going to be like a fire or like a breakout of, I don't know, like
It wasn't
termites,
me this time.
giant carpenter bees.
Fire breathing beetles, you know.
Oh, Mr. Knuckles okay, he doesn't have scurvy.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sure he'll be fine. He knows how to look after himself.
And do you all go straight to sleep when you get home?
I'm gonna drunkenly, I was gonna word this better. I'm gonna drunkenly mess around with the puzzle box. Not my box, the puzzle box.
Okay. Sure.
What kind of check would that be? To manipulate my box?
This is the stone box, the solid stone box.
Yes. My rock solid box.
It's just a straight up
Does this city
intelligence
sell
or
soup?
investigation check. Of course they sell soup.
11.
Can't figure it out. Seems solid. Oh my gosh. How long do you do that?
I mean, it kind of depends on how I'm feeling, but after that drink, I kind of fiddle around with it for 30 minutes, get frustrated, put it in my bag, go to bed.
Okay.
You just
And I would say
starfish
goodnight to
out in
all
the
my
bed.
ancestors that I know about, so like takes a long time. It's like kind of like a meditation thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But also they get insulted if I fall asleep too fast without saying goodnight to each one.
Well, you're an elf too, right? So you trance, so you're kind of like murmuring their names,
Yeah.
half asleep. Okay. What's everybody's passive perception?
Dad?
12.
Where do I see
Great.
that?
On
Oh, I
your
found it.
sheet,
12.
it'll be on the left.
15.
12. Okay.
Passive perception, 11.
Okay. Let me just see. At about an hour after you get home, Betsy, you hear in the distance a scream and a crashing noise, and then it's quiet for a minute, and then you start to hear like people getting up, coming out of their houses, and you hear Grove Wardens shouting to each other, trying to figure out what just happened.
Okay. I guess I'll go outside as well to Gawk and Rubberneck.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
As you kind of follow the flow of onlookers, they're all heading north. On the right level. Do I have you on the right level? There we go. Okay. And there's a bunch of people standing around here. And they seem to be like kind of looking over the edge. They're not getting too close because no railings. And there's a bunch of Grove Wardens trying to like keep people back because they're trying to like see if there's anything here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I, completely oblivious to any sort of danger, move forward and try to see what's going on.
Okay. Do you have dark vision?
Yes.
Okay. As you kind of move forward, you manage to like get up to the edge before anyone pushes you away. You see it is dark, but down on the ground through the branches you see vaguely the shape of a body. And there's a bunch of Grove Wardens kind of with torches, and there's like someone with a light spell, and they're like running back and forth and trying to get somebody.
Hmm. Okay.
At this point, so they're like shouting up and down to one another, and eventually you'll hear all of you would wake up to the sound of a bell ringing, and the elevator platform is going down from the third floor, and you see two griffins also fly by down to the ground.
I fall out of my hammock
Okay,
and then stand up.
great.
And I'm sorry, you said it's coming from the north?
Yeah. There's people gathering up here on both the first and second platforms, and the body seems to be like way down on the ground. And maybe that's where we'll take our break, because it's 10:40. I just realized.
Okay. We'll be right back.
All right. Zombie.
It's a murder. We're back.
Yeah, so it's like 3:00 in the morning. And Betsy has discovered that there's a body on the ground level. And the rest of y'all have heard the alarm bells and come running to your various like the northern side of the city to see what the heck is going on.
Can I take off my rage then that I used last session?
Yeah.
This is unfortunate.
It's not Mr. Knackle though, right? Because he's the only NPC I care about. All the other NPCs, no. Just kidding.
Looks far too big to be Mr. Knackle. From what you can tell.
I probably find Artemis. What's your character's name again? Could we
Rally.
get a list of everybody's name real quick?
Yeah.
I have a 5-second memory.
We've got
Rocket, Betsy,
and Ferrali.
Yeah.
And Hilda.
And Hilda.
And Hilda.
I
You
go
spell it with an A or an E.
Me?
Yeah.
A. Hilda. I go up to. I assume I see your character, Artemis, first, right? The tallest.
I think we're on the same level, so yeah, probably.
And I'm like, what's going on? What's the alarm mean? And I have my battle axe out. Your fight?
I assume I catch you as I'm going to the north end of the platform, so I don't have any idea yet at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just going over there where that crowd is.
Should I keep the axe out?
Maybe? Just in case. They don't usually ring those alarms.
Okay. Do you think it'll be faster if we just jump down?
Maybe?
Oh,
I don't know.
Boy.
So we get to where the platform is, where the group of people are.
Yeah.
If
you
I
see
look
Betsy
down,
there.
do I see Betsy down below me?
I think Betsy is on the same level as you.
Oh, is she? Okay.
But you
I was
might
like,
see
Betsy,
Walk
what's
It
wrong?
down below.
Yeah. Walk it has made her way to the same sort of spot, but on the next level down, because that's where her house is.
I sent Icarus ahead to
he's peering
land on
over.
Betsy.
How congested does the elevator look?
It's full of Grove Wardens. And then that's when you see 2 griffins flying through the trees in a dive down toward the ground.
We should probably go down there. Then I start walking.
How far?
I have a faster way.
How far is the drop? 70 feet.
Okay, never mind. I don't have a faster way.
Not
Wait, to the next platform it's 70 feet?
Oh, to the next platform it's 20 feet.
Because I have a grappling hook and a rope.
It's there's a ramp here, but also it's sticks out more under you over here.
You said you had a faster way?
I take out my grappling hook and rope and then just rappel down to the next level.
Oh dear. I just take the ramp.
Oh,
Okay.
I put my axe away because you're only supposed to run with your axe in battle. That's how one of my other ancestors died, by being around the swimming pond with their axe out.
Great.
Bad idea.
Do you rappel down also, or do you take the ramp?
Yeah. I take the ramp and I try to run really fast.
Okay.
I really like this ramp. I feel like I build really good speed down it.
Yes, you would. This is where the ramp is. You come out over under this tree. You probably see Walk It kind of on this other edge, but you'd be able to meet up.
Yep.
What happened?
Exactly there. I don't know. I heard the alarms going and then came out and everybody was heading this way, so I headed this way. But there's something, or rather some body down there.
Yeah, it's a body.
Yeah. I guess we probably ought to go down.
Guess so.
Yeah.
I yell up at whoever's like standing up there to like throw my grappling hook down to me.
Someone just like kicks it off. They're
Yep.
used to this with you, probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfectly
Okay.
good ramp. Nah.
Yeah. On this level, you would either need to. Well, I guess you could jump 50 feet, but you're only level 3, so.
Speak for yourself.
But there's a trapdoor here that takes stairs around the tree down to the bottom. And there's a little like ramp out here that goes to another one. But yeah, the closest would be this right here. You could
Yeah,
all
we'd
take a
probably go
rope
there.
down if you wanted to grapple down, but you'd probably have maybe a 5-10 foot drop at the very end.
No, it's fine. We go down the stairs in the trap door.
Okay.
I feel like Frila has found out the hard way more than once that like her rope doesn't quite go all the way down to the ground at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Down here, you see right about here is where all of the people are gathered. There's like guards around. The guy that runs the forge is like trying to get a look at what's going on. There's a couple houses down here that people are like wandering over to see what the heck is going on. You come out right about here by the chickens.
I love chicken.
I get distracted by the chickens.
They're probably asleep.
How do we see where the chickens are?
Oh, it's right
How do we open
here.
the map? Help.
Oh. This
The
is where-
chickens absolutely woke up at the Wilhelm scream that happened.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a lot of
Start
clucking.
Wilhelming, screaming like, hey, hey.
Yes.
Yeah. The chickens are screaming as well. Do you see where I'm pinging? That's where the chickens are.
Yep.
No, I don't know how to get to the map in the first place.
Oh no, it's on the Roll20. Are you able to see that?
Oh, it's in Roll20?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Let me open Roll20. That is my problem. I've just been in D&D on this whole time. I am
Oh, I got you. No, you're fine. There, I also posted pictures in the Fixius 5 chat. So it would
Okay.
be the big circle part that was the first picture. Towards the top, there's like a main road that goes through the center, and just off to the left at the top, there's a little building that has chicken. All right, so you make it down. You're not too far away. There's a lot of Grove Wardens around. You see, there's like the Griffins are like over here by the guardhouse, by the north like gate, and you do see Kitani and a guy named Sam, who's also a Griffin rider.
The most fantasy name.
I mean, if Lord of the Rings can do it, so can I.
I wouldn't know. I only know about Broggles, I think they're called. It's a dimension. It's a dropout reference where Raph didn't know what Balrogs are called, so he called them Broggles.
Yes.
Seeing that like Betsy is getting distracted by the chickens, I'm just like, hey, wait, Betsy, look at this. And then I like
What?
have Icarus go from looking like a red-winged blackbird to looking like a very scrawny, tiny barred owl and like
Aw.
hand it to her. Come with me.
Okay.
Wait, I got something for you. I technically have 5 things of feed in my back because I didn't realize how heavy they
You
were.
can't eat that.
I
The
go to take
barbarian
one out of
doesn't
my
know
bag.
this.
You try to
I just like reach out a hand to like stop you.
I put it back in my bag.
if you tried to feed it birdseed, the birdseed would just burn up.
Yeah. He looks like a little tiny barred owl with like little flames coming off of him now.
Yeah.
Your
Oh,
owl is on fire.
I know. He does that.
Okay.
So
Fuck.
you see Katani over there walking towards this spot.
Yep.
There's a lot of tree branches on the ground.
We go as well.
hmm
All right. From closer, what you can see is there is laying on the ground is the body of Frennick Grang, who is a bugbear that lives in the city. He co-owns A&F Garments and Stitchery. He's a weaver. Clearly he hit a branch or two on the way down. He's landed kind of on top of and under some others. He's like half on his side with one arm under him, and the rest of his limbs are kind of splayed out in all directions. His eyes are open wide with a look of surprise, and he's completely still.
Well, I think he's dead.
That
Is
would
this
be a
like
fair
something normal
assessment.
that happens here, or
Well, there aren't any railings or nets or guide ropes.
could I?
Yeah, but I didn't do that when I fell off.
Can I make a medicine check to see if I know the cause of his death?
Guidance.
Thank you. Could I like argue that I could get advantage as somebody who's from like a hunter-gatherer kind of society who has seen many people dead before? Because things ain't going so good where I'm from. Also, I worship Raynette, so that's the death
Yeah.
person.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
go for it.
How do I give myself advantage on this?
When you click it,
Um,
it'll come up with a pop-up
Okay.
asking if you want advantage or disadvantage.
Clear all. No, it doesn't do that. I'll just roll it twice and add a d4.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how. This is what I told you, Liz, when we were making our characters, that every time you are in a new campaign, you will inevitably use a different software.
The differences.
You will not know how one works in the other.
If you're using the dice roller on D&D Beyond, it should give you advantage if you hit the shift key.
Oh, okay. This is a bad time to tell you my shift key is breaking.
yeah, you
Or you
mentioned
can-
this earlier.
Yeah, or you can click twice and roll a d4. It's fine.
Oh, well, it's a 9 plus a d4. No, I don't want to roll that many d4. I just want to roll 1. A 9 plus a 2 for an 11. This is why I normally never gravitated towards a barbarian, because I like skill rolls.
Well, some of his body is like hidden. He's kind of like face down a little bit. But he definitely took some hits for some tree branches, and it looks like he fell from somewhere up there. But you're not sure which platform. It probably wasn't the third platform, because they are shorter, so he would have just hit the third, like the second platform. But maybe the first or the second could be.
Well,
Okay.
are there any of the Griffin folk around?
Yeah,
Like they're nearby investigating?
yeah, they're trying to figure out how this happened. Katani sends Sam up back on his griffin, and he lands on one of the higher platforms, it looks like, and starts talking to Grove Wardens up there. And she comes and gets close to the body. Do you want her to see you, or are you trying to remain part of the crowd?
Oh, there's a crowd here on the ground as well that's kind of watching.
Yeah, it's not as many people because not as many people live down here, but some people have wandered over. It's like the guy that keeps like the carriage house, and the guy that keeps the chickens, and the lady that runs the like ceramics, the kiln and everything. So
there'll be other people who've done what we did as well and come down, I guess.
yes, probably.
If nobody stops me, I'm like going to the body and like just kind of standing over it and looking down at it.
Well, but Katani like comes up to you and she's like, "What? Don't touch anything."
I wasn't touching it.
What are you doing down here?
Looking at the body.
All right. Don't just keep a distance.
I'm like this far away from like actually touching it with my toes.
She like looks behind and sees the rest of you. Oh boy.
Oh, they're here too.
Looks at like the crowd of people. All right, break it up, break it up. No one moves.
Do we know who this is? We've seen him around.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, kind of tall and lanky, covered in like a rich, warm brown fur. And he weaves all kinds of like custom fabrics for anyone that might want something a little fancier to wear. He also makes just like normal fabrics, because there's a lot of natural fibers in the woods, so he's able to make a lot of different kinds of clothes. Sometimes he orders some in, but he's known for his intricate patterns and things that he weaves. As you're standing here, she kind of turns him over so that he's like not covered, like you can see the front of him. And what you see is the hand that was under his body is holding a scrap of fabric that's yellow, and it's got a pattern of like kind of distorted black swirls on it. They're like kind of wobbly looking. On Earth we might call it a little bit of a psychedelic pattern or something, but it's an interesting like pattern that maybe he was working on. His shirt is bloody, and underneath you see evidence of puncture wounds that are perfectly round.
Like
Right.
bang marks?
They look much bigger than that.
Do I recognize the fabric?
Ooh. Make just like a straight intelligence or wisdom check. Any of you can do that live here.
So not me.
You could do like a religion check if you wanted.
16.
16.
Oof. 6.
Okay.
19.
Dang, okay.
They call it.
Sorry, what am I doing?
Just an intelligence or wisdom check. So the main stats at the top of your sheet, you can click on those.
Oh yeah. 12.
Okay.
Yeah, no. You said a simple one, didn't you? So
yeah.
It's actually 15 because I need to add my mod.
Okay. So those of you that are from here, Betsy, you're not really sure. You don't spend a lot of time in that shop because it's generally a bit fancier, or like when they make custom designs, it's like
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like fancy stuff. But if, like, those of you that know him, you know the kinds of things that he weaves. It's usually like there are many more colors in it, and the patterns are different. So this is either something that was made by somebody else that he was using for something, or somebody else made this. You could also guess that's like a simpler pattern than what you're used to, as far as what he's capable of. With a religion check, you said it was 19, Maggie?
Yes. Oh my god, are we in Spiral by Junji Ito now?
Yes.
Oh god!
No, I don't know. You are not necessarily familiar with this particular symbol. Like, but it does remind you of the symbology around Verit, who's the god of chaos.
Oh my god, this reminds me of Ferret, the god of chaos.
Oh. Well, I mean, death and murder is kind of chaotic.
No, it's different. Trust me.
How so?
You really don't know what I am, do you?
You're my friend Hilda?
Yes, but I'm also a Shatterkai, and I'm related to the god of death, Rain.
Oh, that's nice.
That's like my thing, is knowing about the afterlife, and death is not that chaotic. In fact, it comes for almost all of us since death became a thing in these lands. Hey, Emily, you want to do some disposition about that?
Sure. Like a lore dump kind of a thing? Okay, yeah. Lore dump, get ready. So much lord.
Betsy's
Rain
just on a
Lord.
loading screen.
Yeah. So Raynette is the goddess of darkness, death, sleep, rest, and travel. She's much more, she basically like invented death after the God Wars to keep people from being like living tortured lives. Essentially, like, people were getting hurt, but they couldn't die, and so they were just like horrible pain for their lives. She basically invented death as a way to give people an out from that. Verit, on the other hand, because as like Hilda says, the name Verit is the god of chaos, destruction, absurdity, impermanence, and pain. Similar to like Tharizdun, but he is known to have been one of the gods that like kicked off the God Wars, where he basically tried to destroy Bhenkar, but because protections had been put in place, he was not able to. He's
Tharizdun.
He, like, choices that he makes tend to not make sense. He doesn't usually get involved with that much of anything, but there are people that are known to worship him in like pockets here and there. And there are some relics of the God Wars that remain, that are usually kept sealed away, that have to do with Verit, that basically kind of cause a person to break more often than not, and also make choices they wouldn't normally make.
And he's not like, he doesn't have any sort of like, sorry, the dead guy doesn't have any sort of like whispers about him or anything that like he maybe has been a little weird lately.
Not as far as you know. But you could ask around. You haven't heard anything about anyone acting particularly strange. Except for the new people that came into town and then immediately left.
Yeah. Has there been... I would say to Kitani, have you determined where he fell from yet?
Well,
Which platform?
either the
Where's
first or
his
the
shop?
second. His shop is on the second platform. Sort
Well,
of
he's-
towards the south, though. It's not really anywhere near here. As
But he's covered in
she's
blood. Wouldn't there be blood on the platform?
in theory, as she says that, she kind of looks up and you see a griffin fly back down, kind of land at a distance because griffins are temperamental. And Sam walks over and says, "Yeah, sure enough, there's blood on the second platform. Yeah, seems like something happened there, but there maybe was a little bit of a scuffle, but from the looks of his face, it looks like he was taken by surprise."
What was he doing on this end of town?
And at this time of night, I don't understand.
Rocket walks over and being very careful to make sure I'm not touching anything. She just takes a look just to see, and you hear her sort of say, "Oh, Frennick, you fool, what have you got yourself into this time?" And in a sort of a, you know, a sort of sad voice. She does know him.
Yeah.
And Jane is just looking, particularly looking at the wounds.
Oh, okay.
Try and figure out if there's anything to be. I mean, because you described them as being perfectly round.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, you could make like a medicine or investigation check. See
Guidance.
if you can figure out a little bit more.
Thank you. That's wait a minute. Medicine is wisdom. Oh dear. 2.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, it's the strangest thing. They're about this big. So, for podcast people, the punctures look about the size of like a blueberry, and they're perfectly round. It doesn't look like a regular knife wound. It's like some sort of sharpened rod or some other tool has made this.
It was your sister's dog because you kept trying to give them the pill blueberries.
Yes.
So they put the blueberry into the person.
Yeah.
I'm really smart. I have a plus 20 intelligence and wisdom.
And how many of them are there? Just the one or several?
Looks like 3.
So 3 different sets of teeth or 3 holes?
3 holes.
Oh, that's weird. Could you, like, are they all in a line or are they like...
No, they're kind of like clustered around the same area, but they're not in a line.
Okay.
She's being super helpful right now.
I know.
It's like hugs. One
Can I
hug.
make a nature check to see, or an arcana check to see what I think this might be?
Sure.
Guidance.
Thank you.
I've got
You're
one
helping.
job on this ship. It's stupid, but I'm gonna do it.
Got a 12 because I got a plus 4 from the guidance.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been a sharpened stick. It could have been some kind of like draw or knitting needles, or it could have been anything that was like round and
Circle
thick
people.
enough to make that big of a hole.
So, like, did this guy have any known enemies, or do you guys have any known enemies? If you guys have any known enemies, I'd like to know so that I can go fight them for you. But
It's the
No.
goblin. Nameless goblin.
I don't think so.
hey, Bird, you got any enemies?
Ooh. Ooh.
Who? That's who I'm asking. Who?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Who's on
Both
first?
on first. Yeah.
Exactly.
Who?
Kitani, do you want us to go like look at his shop to see if this fabric
Actually-
matches anything?
I'd be all right with that.
I promise not to start it on fire this time.
Just tell me if you find anything out, I guess. I've got the rest of my folks that are awake, asking the crowd if they saw anything up there. So,
TT's right there.
And,
We're fine.
Nothing weird's been going on at your temples, right? Because this cloth reminds me of the god of chaos. And as I say those words, they actually just come out in Emily's voice, the lore dump.
there it, God of Chaos.
Yeah, I love when people do that, like when Lou did that during.
Yeah.
I love when people just repeat the lore dump in their
Yeah. Well, actually,
Like, you don't worship this god.
Doing
do
it.
you?
I'm repeating the damn computer.
no one around here worships that god, I don't think. I mean, unless they've been keeping it a secret. Most of the people here are involved in some sort of nature worship, like Quinis or Warris, god of time. It's sort of...
Can I make an insight check to see if she knows anything?
Sure.
I'm suspicious.
You just
Fine.
met her today.
I'm really
Then?
good at rolling, guys.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Now that's gonna get stuck in my head.
You're welcome.
No, she seems confused by the idea that anyone in this city would worship Verret. Genuinely confused.
Can we take this little scrap of cloth with us to see if we can match it to something?
She kind of looks at it, looks at Sam. Sam's like, He like yawns
In
a
the
little
meantime,
bit.
in the meantime, Rocket just reaches down and takes it out of his hand. Says, "Yeah, we'll take this."
Sure. All right, take the elevator up. It's faster.
It appears above our head, making a point and click adventure game.
Would you like to take the fabric? Click
Yes,
the-
we'll take the psychedelic freaky fabric.
Okay.
That's what it's called in the top inventory bar.
It gives
too.
you the option wheel where it's like the Jedi versus Sith options.
Yeah.
To toggle between them.
Absolutely.
I love those like old school adventure point and click games so much. As we're running
Alright.
the
Okay.
elevator up, I'm
We
like,
take the
"Oh,
elevator up.
You take the
people
elevator up.
just like die here all the time. You're saying no, so this is pretty weird, right?
It would be
Yeah.
weird.
They definitely don't usually die by falling off of the platforms. I'm usually the only one that does that. And I'm pretty sure I'm still alive, so.
I look at you closely. No, you
Seems
seem
alive.
so alive, and I pat you on the back. The elevator's not enclosed right as I'm patting you.
Definitely not dangerous. Okay. You head up to the... You kind of come out here on this level. And there's the Griffin's Perch is right here. And then the Garments and Stitchery place is here. You, those of you that are from here would know that there is there's two owners of this business. So the F is from Frenok, and the A is, if I can find his name, Astigan. He is a tailor. So Frenok usually like weaves like custom fabrics. Is very skilled at doing that, and Astigan makes them into clothes. Obviously, like the lights are on in this building, and but you didn't see like Astigan anywhere out there, so you can knock or just go ahead in if you want.
I knock.
You hear kind of it sounds like somebody trips over something. Maybe they're still half asleep, who knows. And Astigan walks to the door, opens it. Ah, yes, hello.
No.
We're not really open. I don't think Frenok is even here. I'm not
That's
really
because he's
sure.
dead.
What? No. He was just here. He was working on something.
Yeah, he's
No,
dead.
Was it this? And I used the wheel that Artemis talked about to show him the for the I
fabric.
walk in to get out the fabric.
He
Maybe we let
fell
it.
or something. We're not really sure.
Mm,
He got into a scuffle.
Well,
let's just go inside and just not have this conversation on the doorstep.
yeah, okay. I'll make some tea. And he like starts wandering towards some kind of like kitchen. Looks like some of you've probably been in this shop before, but for Hilda it would be new. You kind of go in this door, and on one side there's like a large loom and a couple smaller looms, and there's a bunch of different like fancy elaborate like fabrics being in the process of being made. And then there's a door that's probably to his like living quarters or something. And then off to the left side, you see there's like work tables, sewing equipment, scissors, bolts of other kinds of fabric and leathers, and there's another door that's probably Astigan's home. He starts making some tea. I don't know. You said he's for sure dead.
Very
You
dead.
sure?
Yes,
Oh dear.
afraid so. Yes,
That's
yes.
not
Has he
good.
gotten into any arguments with anybody lately?
No. It's not that I can think of. He was working on some interesting projects, and he kind of waves over, and none of the fabrics that are on the looms and the different like weaving apparatus around seem to have any kind of yellow and black, except maybe as like an accent, but it seems like Brennick doesn't use black thread very much. He uses a lot of different colors, more subtle, kind of soft, natural colors. So this is the fabric that you have is definitely unusual.
Do you mind if we have a little look around, Astigan?
Oh,
Over on Frennick's side, of course. Not
yes. Look at whatever you need. Take your time. And he just kind of like sits down. He's made a single cup of tea, and he just like sits down at one of his work tables and kind of stares off into space. And you're able to look around. If anyone wants to make perception checks, investigation checks, let me know what you're looking for or where you're looking for it.
I'm looking for anything that could possibly make the stab wound.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So like you had mentioned like knitting needles, but I'm thinking like a loomer's hook or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Mainly focused on something sharp and pointy and about that size.
Okay.
Guidance.
About that. I thought it was just like a vampire with 3 fangs or one.
Oh, I don't.
One tooth vampire.
15.
Okay. You
I'm gonna look for like
do
papers or
see-
anything.
Papers, okay. Go ahead and make whatever check you would like. Nice, okay. First things first, with a 15, you're kind of looking around, and there's a number of tools here that are like big enough and sharp enough that they could do some damage. Like, you notice that like Astigan has several pairs of scissors, but obviously they're not like round. And there's like various hooks and awls used for punching leather. There's just like needles of various sizes depending on what they're making. But the thing that stands out to you with a 15 is on one of the looms. There are these like weird little. They almost look like a bowling pin, or like monk darts, or like throwing knives, but they're cylindrical and they're wooden and they're sharpened at the end. And they're over with the weaving materials. Looks like it would fit the wounds you saw pretty well.
Okay. Just kind of like not touching anything, just look them over, see if there's anything like blood-like.
Mm-hmm. You don't see any blood on any of these.
By the way, when we saw him, his puncture wounds, they didn't
Yes.
look like weird, like oozing weird colors. Like they look like normal.
They looked normal. I mean, as normal as a stab wound can.
How did his holes look, Emily?
Please describe his holes. Go.
Jeez. Y'all.
I need a 500-word essay. Oh,
You volunteered to do this nonsense, okay?
I did. I
You knew what you were
absolutely
getting
did.
into.
would you point that out? Aphi and Betsy,
What's that?
would you point out the ninja tools?
Not quite yet, but once I kind of look a little bit closer at them and kind of when I don't see any blood, I've picked one up and I've just sort of like pushed it against my forearm to see like how sharp it is, if it could be used as a stabbing implement. Not trying to like hurt myself or anything, but just like, you know,
Yeah.
tough bugbear hide. Like, would it be able to go through something like that?
Hilda internally is telling me anything could be used to stab somebody if you try hard enough.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that is true, but
The as you're kind of like inspecting this, it's sharp, and you would imagine that with enough force anything can be a weapon. But they like if someone would have to be strong enough to do that.
Does his partner look strong enough to do that?
He's a pretty tall, skinny, kind of middle-age, upper middle-age kind of man, and right now he looks very frail because he's drinking a cup of tea and just kind of staring off into space.
Rocket goes over and sort of pats him gently on the shoulder and tries to be sympathetic and says, I realise this will be difficult, but I wonder, can you think of anything that might have been happening recently that out of the ordinary? Anything that we might find useful to know?
We just bought some new supplies. And he kind of looks around the shop. There's like brand new like bundles of like wool. There's stuff that's like waiting to be dyed. There's some different like hooks and pins and things. But he's like, it's kind of typical for like, sometimes when the traders come in from Stead, we do like stock up on things, get some extra fabric that maybe some of the fancier folk like, the silks and stuff like that. But
was he in trouble with any of the merchants or his clients?
I don't think so. As like you ask that question and Firali is looking for papers, like you're looking over invoices, they all seem to be pretty above board as far as that goes. And they got paid well for the stuff that they made, so
It doesn't look like there was any like date and times of like meetings written down or anything like that. Nothing weird.
Not in here.
Okay.
And he hasn't seemed different, out of sorts, not quite himself recently?
I don't think so. Kind of like stares off again. He's just like, you can tell he's like in shock. It's like, how am I gonna make the fabrics? I don't know how to use that stuff.
Well, my friend, I think that's probably not something that you need to focus on right now. I thought. It'll all work out. These things always do. We'll find some way of making sure that you can keep going.
Okay.
But right now, it's I can see you're very, very in shock, and clearly you know nothing about what may or may not have happened to our friend. But
no. Why would he have been out? I don't get it.
Did you hear him leave at all?
No. Don't think so. I just heard the bells.
Yes, I was going to ask whether you heard them.
I was looking to see. I mean, they don't use those except if, like, something really bad is happening, so thought maybe I was gonna get him and we would find a place to hide. And he's just, like, looking around the shop, like...
A place to hide?
Maybe show him...
Felt you needed to hide?
I don't know, if something was attacking. I mean, it doesn't really happen that often, but you never know.
Interesting. The first reaction of most of the townsfolk seems to have been to go and see what was happening. rather than hide from it, but never mind. He was holding this piece of fabric when he was found. Do you recognize it? Is it something he's been working with, or?
No, he wouldn't have made that. That's not his style.
Not it doesn't ring any bells. You've not seen anybody recently, like in the day or two before now, that's been
No.
wearing something like that.
The spiral kind of seems familiar, but I don't know why. Maybe I've seen it somewhere in the city? Seems maybe more like something someone would wear in the capital, or I don't know. A bit loud for this community.
Well, yes.
Are any of these loomy things missing? Like one of the loom hooks or whatever.
There's like a bobbin to switch colors, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. He kind of looks, he like walks up. He doesn't get that close to anything, but he just, actually, let me make a roll here. He kind of looks, and you see he like points and he goes, down in that left side there, there's a thread that's loose. And you see like the other ones that are hanging on the loom, they've got like the thinner part, they've got like fabric wound around them, and they're used to like switch colors out to make the different patterns. And there's one that's just got like a loose thread.
And this isn't normal? I don't know anything about sewing.
No, it's not. I don't think so.
Do I know if this is anything like... No, I don't think this question makes sense. I was gonna say if it's like ritualistic what's going on, but I don't think that.
Well, I thought Emily did mention there was some sort of ritualistic something on the bugbear, wasn't there?
Yeah, the symbol of the god of chaos. But...
Well, yeah, that fabric has like...
Yeah, but like, do I understand anything about this ritual? Like, trying to look at it, being, you know...
It doesn't seem like... Based on that religion check that you made before, even just knowing that this would be tied to Verret, you think that the words ritual and Verret are diametrically opposed. Like, Verret would not use a ritual for anything. He would not ask his followers to use a ritual. He might not even ask his followers for anything in general. He would just expect them to create...
chaos.
Chaos. I mean, do random wild things. Yeah.
Do a murder. Got
it.
I
Maybe.
mean, this is pretty chaotic, but...
Yeah.
What god did this guy worship?
Quintus.
Like,
Yeah.
and you're like, sure, like...
Oh, yes. Yes, he was there a couple times a week. A couple days a week.
Was
up
he
at the
there
temple.
last night or today?
Kind of thinks for a second. He was up there earlier today. He kind of think he was just leaving his usual offering, and like when you were up there, you would have seen there's these little like alcoves in the big round building, and all the little alcoves had like compost piles, basically. Um, Animal bones, food scraps, and then they all have like flowers and leaves laid on top of them.
So I've seen him at the temple a few times.
Mhm.
He's definitely a follower of Queeness. Like myself, of course.
And nothing would have been unusual about any of the offerings that he brought or anything. They would all be pretty typical of what you would see there.
Hmm. The god of
Take
recycling.
anything you need if you need to show examples or anything. I don't know.
I think it might be wise to take one of those bobbins with us to show
Yeah.
Tanya,
Yeah.
especially if there's
Have at
actually
it.
this thing. Yes. And I suppose we'd better take the fabric back. She didn't seem terribly pleased when I picked it up, did she?
I don't think she knew what to do with it.
Well, no, this is true. This is true.
But maybe they have like tracker dogs or something.
Possibly. Could we, before we go though, perhaps it might be worth having a little look in that door, because if I remember correctly, you have your own sort of bedroomy living quarters on either side. Might be worth going to have a
Yeah.
quick look in his room, just to be on the safe side that we haven't missed anything.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. I think he usually kept it open. Yeah, you can go in there. Feel free to make an investigation check.
Guidance.
Thank you.
I knew it was coming.
Remind me what guidance means
It's
I
an
have to do.
extra D4.
Okay. So I am making
Pasta.
an investigation check.
Parrot cat.
Like, here, let me help your neck, Mom.
Yeah.
A 10.
Okay.
Did you add your D4 to it?
I did.
So you go into this room, and you see, because he's a bugbear, so he's extremely tall. So there's a long bed. There's a couple of tables in here, and a nice like oversized like stuffed armchair that looks really nice with some books by it. And there's like there's like a ledger book that's separate from like the invoices, and the ledger book has like a list of all the things that they bought when the traders came through. And you see for Frennock, you have a number of things that like say like bobbin and hook and all sorts of like yarns and different things. They make a lot of sense for what would go with like weaving. And you see a couple of bolts of fabric, and there's some like a new pair of scissors, a couple of packs of needles and things of different sizes, a couple of dyes, and then under Astigan's name, you also see pendant.
Pendant.
we see him wearing one just a minute ago?
Didn't look like it.
Okay.
Sorry, what happened? You found a pendant in the room? Sorry, my sister's fiance came over.
There was a ledger of all the things they bought from the traders that came into town about a week ago. And there was a number of weaving and sewing supplies, and then a pendant under Astigan's name.
Ooh, okay.
Mm. Rocket goes and just ruffles through the other books just in case there's something stuck inside them. Does the the hold it up thing.
Oh yeah, the like drop the
Yeah.
Nothing falls out except a placeholder.
Can I check like
Bookmark.
under his mattress? You know, like people always stuff under there.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um
14.
Okay. There you see a couple of different swatches of like fabric that he's working on. You find a sketchbook of ideas that he has. And you see a a swatch of another fabric that has spirals, and it is green and blue.
Like the yellow one, but with green and blue instead of yellow and black?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, guys, look at this.
Oh, I say, that's interesting.
Does it look like it matches up how it's torn, or is it torn, or?
Is there anything in the sketchbook either?
You don't see any patterns in the sketchbook that look like this. You just see it's like a little swatch, like maybe someone made it on a small like test loom, which you would have seen a couple of those in the previous room. And it looks like he planned out his patterns on like teeny tiny little testers, and then he would make them on like the big looms. So it looks like someone made this. It's a little bit sloppier than the black and yellow one, and it's different colors.
Like it could have been done by, say, like a new weaver?
Maybe like an apprentice or someone learning, someone trying something out. But as far as you know, he didn't have any apprentice, at least not that you've heard in the last like week. And that's about all you find in that room.
We should show these things to Kitani. And then sleep.
Just
I feel like we should investigate the temple too.
Maybe in the morning?
Yeah,
maybe.
when the light's up and we can see better.
I see fine.
Yeah.
I see fine too, but I'm still drunk.
You didn't even get their strongest alcohol.
It was
As
strong
we
enough for
walk
me.
out- As we walk out into the front room again, Wocket just takes a close look at Astigan to see if that pendant is obvious.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Guidance!
I'll say with advantage too because you're looking for something specific.
Oh God, how do I do that?
You can roll twice, or if you're using D&D Beyond, you should be able to hit shift and it will roll with advantage.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully. If it doesn't, feel free to just roll again.
which one am I doing? Perception.
Yeah.
That's wisdom, which is that one there. Plus
That's a wisdom
D4.
check, not perception check.
Oh, phooey. Forget that.
If you look at the
Not bad.
long list that has like things in alphabetical order, it'll be probably closer to the bottom.
I got it.
Plus a d4.
Yeah. Which got me a
Ooh.
whole 1. So a dirty 20.
Dang, okay. As you are walking out, you see, you're like looking for a pendant and you don't see anything around his neck. And he's like, he looks like he's woken up. He's got like pajamas with like a robe over it. And like you can see his neck pretty clearly, like it's open like this. And you don't see a necklace or a pendant there. And so you're a little bit like, huh. And then as you're like staring at him, you see he's holding something in his hand with like, there's like a leather cord that's wrapped around his wrist a couple times, and he's like rubbing it.
It's a very interesting thing you have there in your hand.
Hmm? Oh,
The thing you're rubbing
it's
looks
just
like it might be very pretty.
yeah, it's just a little pendant they had, just a trinket.
Hmm. Any particular purpose for it? I mean, you look as though you're using it to try and help keep yourself calm.
Yeah, it's very smooth. He's like rubbing it still with his fingers like this.
Out of character, does it look like a worry stone almost?
Kind of, yeah. That's like attached to a cord of some kind.
Hmm. May I just have a little look? And she puts her hand out, trying to encourage you to do the same with your hand, not keep it hidden. Trying to, yeah, good idea.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Guidance.
Persuasion with guidance.
Yep. And roll twice and take the lower this time.
Yes. So 10.
Still need to roll a d4, Liz.
Oh,
yeah.
8 in that case.
No, you still need to roll a d4. The +2 is your modifier.
Oh. I did. I thought I did. Come on. Roll. Why are you not rolling? Irritating. Doesn't want to let me roll a d4.
Okay. Try it in the roll 20. If you go to the dice on the left side, the one that looks like roll 20 or like a 20-sided die, and click it, it'll open a little menu and just click where it says D4. If you can see it.
No. Doesn't want to play. Oh, wait a minute. Is it that? No. Hang on.
It'll be like look like a 20-sided die. And it should be at the bottom of the little menu on
I
the
just did
left
it
side.
I just did it manually and got a 3.
Oh, great. Okay.
So 13.
13.
Which is lower than the first one.
Kind of pulls away. But as you get closer and hold your hand out, you can see the edge of it. And it's like really dark brown with like red speckles in it. and it is it's like, it looks like it has like a wavy pattern to it, from what you can see on the edge. But he just says it was a gift from Frenick. He's just kind of holding it.
Oh, that's very sweet of him to buy you something that pretty. That's very kind of him. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. That's fine. Okay.
You all head out with your various little scraps of information. An unusual series of events in this otherwise typically quiet city. And head off to bed, and that's where we'll end session 1.
And nobody got scurvy.
And nobody got scurvy.
Correct.
See, only
Good
like
job,
a person died. Okay, nobody got scurvy. Good.
Good.
That is our benchmark.
Yep.
No one got
As
scurvy.
long as no one gets scurvy.
And
it's
only
all
an
fine.
NPC died.
Only an NPC died. And it wasn't even someone that you knew all that well.
It's fine. It's fine.
Only one person broke a rib because of a bag of bird feed. Also, let's just pour one out for Mr. Knackle before we end.
Yeah. Poor Mr. Knackle.
Wow.
Poor guy. Probably goblin food.
He's fine.
It's fine. It's totally fine. What are you talking about? It's fine. We're gonna raid somebody as soon as I find somebody to raid.
Woo. Let's do it. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you, Emily.
E.
Catch us next week for more of this murder mystery in the woods. And don't forget to donate to our charity for this month. During Pride Month, we are making donations to Tabletop Gamers. They're an excellent organization. And if you give money to our charity, you might win something. So extra
They'll
incentive.
have the little like silicone band that I got at GaryCon last year from them.
Yeah.
I wear it every day.
Also, don't forget to check out CanadianDice.ca. They're our sponsor. They've got some new dice, including those strawberry dice, which are so cute. And there's like hamburger ones, and there's frog ones. Hello. Bhenkar Brouhaha Arc 1. That's still going. Please go buy frog dice.
Yep. All right, we're going to go raid Madbird Streams. So don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for Backpacker's Guide. And we'll see you when we see you.